All right, it's Wednesday. Not sure what day. Maybe May 6th? I don't know. Hopefully you're watching this on the right day. I'll get the right label in the title of the video at least. It's actually Friday when I'm recording this, and I just finished, well, a while ago I finished a run. I just can't cool down, so now I'm sitting outside, and that's not really helping. Today we'll be doing histograms. Really easy, really fast. If you're comfortable with bar graphs, you're going to be very comfortable with this. It's quite easy. The one thing about histograms is basically like you're used to a bar graph. Histograms, they take all the bars and kind of like set them next to each other, whereas a bar graph, there's space in between them. They're kind of all jammed in tight like this, and then there'll be like another one and another one. That looks really weird the way my fingers look, but you get the idea. So no spaces in between the bars basically is what we're getting to. Also, each bar represents the same, like if we were doing something over, let's say, years, like 5 years, how much it rained in a place, the first bar would be over 5 years. The second bar would be over 5 years. The third bar would be over 5 years. You want to keep each category so that it's an equal amount. And then the measure of rain would just adjust the size of the bars. But you're going to find this easy. This is going to go really quick. I'm on page 874 for when I do the example. I'm just going to do it right out of the book today because, well, you know how good I am at drawing, so you don't want to see me actually attempt to make my own graph. Although I am going to have to make some bars here. So, before we get started, I signed up, and this is actually true for once, I signed up for a race that started today, and it's a virtual race to run across Tennessee. And I think it's like 1,000 kilometers roughly, and 620 so miles. I should have made you do the conversions. So every morning in preparation for this, I've been going out and running, and every morning somebody on a bike runs me over. Every morning, bike hits me, runs me over. Hits me, runs me over. It's a vicious cycle. All right, so histograms on 874. Never realized how many times I say when I'm talking like this. I don't know why that is. I guess since none of you can respond to me, it's kind of weird. It'd be nice if you guys could be responding live. All right, the frequency table below shows the number of books read on vacation by the students in Miss Angelo's class. So this is the number of books read on vacation. And here's where we're going to build our histogram. And here's the frequency table. You're going to see tables similar to this that they're going to present information in. You'll notice how each category goes 0 to 2, so that's 3 things. And then it goes 3 to 5, so 3, 4, 5, another 3 things, 6 through 8, 6, 7, 8. So like I said before, each category represents like the same amount of time or same amount of things. And then how many people actually participated and read that amount of books is shown here. And it's even easier to look at it there. First, they want us to draw a histogram to represent the data. So I started doing that with my felt tip pen and realized that's really a very small space for me to squeeze this in, so I hope your pencil's sharp when you're doing this. I've gone ahead and put my numbers of books along the x-axis here, we could call it, 0 to 35 as you see. And then the frequency or number of books that was read is going to be running along my y-axis. I don't know if you can tell, but basically I decided to use a scale going from 0 to 18 because I knew that was plenty high to represent data in this, with 10 being my largest number. And I also went with intervals of 2. Now you might say it's going by 4s, but each line, I just labeled every other line. So the first line's 2, and then 4, and 6. You can play around with that and do your own scaling and intervaling. And now I'm just going to attempt to put it in. So the first one goes to 6. And then for my 3 through 5, that's going to go all the way up to 10. I'm looking through this trying to, I got to stop looking through the phone and trying to draw at the same time. So this is gross, and this needs to be closer. Now I'm going to do my 6 to 8, which goes to 7. Which would be, if that's 8, 7 would be right about there. I'm going to make a big one. And we're going to go 9 to 11. So for 9 to 11, it was 3. So 3 would be right about there, just below the 4 line. And then 12 to 14 is going to be 4, which is the second line. All right, showing off my art skills again. I am not a good artist by any means, or drawer, or straight line, whatever. All right, you get the point. So here's your histogram. Shouldn't be any space in between, did my best. We can kind of see roughly how everything measures up. All right, now that we have our histogram drawn, we are done with A, we go to B. It says describe the histogram. So try to make, like, 2 observations if you can. One observation we can do is we could add up how many students there were, and we could say that our histogram represents the number of books read by 30 students on a vacation. And then another simple comment you might make is, 3 to 5 was the most popular number of books that were read over vacation, because there was 10 students who did that. Or maybe you want to make an observation about what was the least. I think it was 9 to 11. So 9 to 11, there was 3 students who read somewhere between 9 and 11 books. But it's really that easy. You just make 2 comments like that. 2 would work for me, and you are ready to go. And then C asks us one more question. It says, how many students read 6 or more books? So when we do that one, remember, 6 or more. So that includes this group. But the 9 through 11 is also included, and the 12 through 14. So we'd actually add 7 and 3 is 10, and then we'd add the other 4. We would say there are 14 students. All right, that's about it for today, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. My partner, my dog, was hanging out with me, and Big Red went inside because apparently it's too hot for him. Say bye-bye, Bubba.